Hi, how's everyone doing? Summer camp is here. Summer camp has begun. Let me close my door real quick. We don't need all that backlighting. So hi everyone. Today's the day. It is the big day. Whoosh. We light up. We hide all of our snacks here that are just open. Yeah, so we are getting into things. We are having a little writing session. We're gonna be doing some planning just here in a moment. Gosh, I'm so ready to dive into some of these prompts. I haven't stuck around for quite the entire World Anvil stream, unfortunately. I was like, oh, it's already like 2:30. I want to get started before too long. But yeah, so we're gonna get into some writing. We're gonna do some planning, some plotting. We have our first 10 prompts just kind of sitting here. I don't know if the page is actually updated yet, so we'll just have to work off of the notes that we had from stream. But it's okay. We're just... I'm excited. Alright, so I have a little bit of setup and such that I do want to get through before we really start diving into the meat and potatoes of this writing. And so yeah, we're just gonna start working through some of that. If we will... I'm gonna be doing some typing, just a little bit of stuff real quick, if y'all don't mind. Just letting my friends know that the bird is indeed up. It is me, I am the bird. I hope we have come prepared with sippies, because of course you must. And yes, 'tis indeed the season for joy and delight, for it is summer camp time. I'm so ready. We have some great prompts going on here, and I'm just going to take a little peek over into the summer camp chat over in the World Anvil Discord, just because I know that I've missed like the last 2 prompt drops. I don't know. We'll have to see. Prompt 6, prompt 5. Bum. Prompt 7 is a rank and title. I knew that one. I did. Okay, 8 I also stuck around for. It was 9 and 10 that I was missing. It was the 2 wild cards. I just wasn't sure what those were. Prompt 9, species template. A species known for its mischievous personality. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, I love that. And let's see what prompt 10 was. Tradition template. A popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. If someone has a meta world on World Anvil, you could say summer camp. Art and creativity just all throughout. Oh gosh, and I realize now that the way I did my makeup, my blue is on this side, but my blue light is over here, and my pink is on this side, my pink light's over here. It's a little mix and match. That's fun. Yeah, so right now I'm setting up my Discord server to have individual channels where you can go and chat about each different prompt for, you know, whatever you might need for any advice or thoughts or anything like that. So I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to format this and how I want it to work. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking, as far as like the tag system is concerned, maybe I will tag Summer Camp 2023 instead of like putting it in the titles, because that just gets clunky. I don't know. Yeah, we'll do that. If I can just edit my tags somehow. There we go. But now what icon would I use for that? That's a good question. I don't know if I am aware of an emoji that would sum up 2023 well enough to be recognizable in that way. So yeah, and gosh, I'm noticing that Streamlabs is also, like, my chat's broken or something, so I can't use Streamlabs to chat, so I have to go open up the tab to my own channel and sit in my own chat and do it that way. It's a little annoying, but what can you do? Yeah, I don't know. We'll just, we are slowly setting ourselves up and we'll be handling this in no time at all. I'm so excited about some of these prompts, but I'm also a little frustrated by some of these prompts because I know that I've already written about exactly the topic that this prompt is covering, but now I have to find something else. Because, like, even still, like, even though I have written about these things that, like, the prompt would be perfect for, these are articles that I want to develop more, so I could very easily write 300 new words for each of these things. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We always do. That's the whole motto of us Dewey Diamonds. We're gonna do it. And we're not gonna stress out about it very much. We're just gonna get it done, as it were. And so oh, maybe I should share this process. Let's see. We'll see what Streamlabs has to say about it. Which screen I should use. Let's get this off of my screen real quick. Put this on my screen, maybe? I don't really know that there is anything. I don't know that there's anything too secret just innately in my Discord, so. Let's have our little chapter and channels up here. Yeah, so here we go. Streamlabs hides people's names anyway. Yeah, so we are just going to be setting up this little section of my Discord server. We're going to be setting up forums for all these little prompts and everything that we want to work on. And so if I edit tags, no, not ethnicity, 2023. Edit tags, 2023. Oops. Nope, I right-clicked on my own name, not the channel. Edit tags, 2023. Edit post, please. There we go, I like that more. And then we can just get rid of this Summer Camp 2023 thing. We can keep the week 1, which kind of, like, you know, separates it from the other ones. And that just makes it work. And because everything's tagged with 2023, we don't really need to have it in the title. I think that saves a lot of redundancy. Because I'm probably gonna reuse this, hold on, I don't need the summer camp homework thing on here anymore, so I'll just get rid of that real quick. Yeah, so animal associated with or symbolizing power. Alright, so I just have this little notepad thing, don't mind that. Yeah, so let's get this done, shall we? So where are we? Prompt 4. We are now on prompt 5. A culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. So let's see. New post, week 1. Power. Culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. Okay, prompt 5. About a culture or a group of people who have historically suffered under the rule of another. Some examples posed during the reveal stream. Ooh, wow, I'm not spelling things correctly. During the reveal stream were LGBTQ struggles, as well as the Greeks. Who has faced oppression in your world? So this, get the, where's the tag? There we go. A culture, that is our ethnicity template. Beautiful, post that in there. Now we have military conflict. Ooh. Week 1. Yes, they're all going to have this little tag up here. So a conflict between 2 unequal powers in your world. There we go. E.g. the 500, the Battle of Agincourt, David and Goliath. So we have prompt 6. It's about a conflict, a war, battle for power between 2 sides who are not on equal footing. Some examples provided were the 500, the Battle of Agincourt, and David and Goliath. What unequal powers have feuds in your world? We have conflict. Post. Oh, I did not tag either of these with 2023. Oopsie daisies. That's okay. We're still in our first year here, so it doesn't really matter. Things like that aren't going to matter until next year, but we're trying to prep early, because I don't want to go backtrack through these and add tags to them. Alright, so that is prompt 6. What is prompt 7 again? Please tell me. Title. The title and responsibilities of an important person in your world. Nice, nice. Week 1. Power. Prompt 7 is about important person in your world, but not quite about them. The title they hold. Chapter leader is a little example that they gave. I think that's really cute. Alright, some examples given were Roman Emperor, Lord of Barad-dûr, Jedi Master, and Chapter Leader. I love that one. And a Chapter Leader. There we go. Prompt 7, about an important person. Yes. What titles do powerful people in your world hold? There we go. I've not made a title tag yet, so we're just gonna have to slide in and do that. Let's see. Title. Wow, hey World Anvil, what is up? With the 122 raiders. Hi everyone. I'm gonna have to stop and say hello to everyone. How are we? Secondhand, hi Autumn Ninetails. Welcome. Laura Bones, Kajitan Writes. Nino Don Lord. Hello Nino, how are you doing? Oh gosh. Tag Odd, thank you for following. Obi Shaker, Moonlight Bard, good to see you. Grace's Mystery, Sam Surat, Nino again, sorry, you spoke twice, hello. Yosalminix and Sam Surat also following, thank you so much. Original Mr. Ty, Inquisitor, 777, Shadow Phoenix, oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Shy Red Fox, Nice Mustang, oh, hello, and Autumn Ninetails also following. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome everyone. Cognoscente, welcome. Cognoscente? Stiltus, also hello, welcome. Gosh, I'm looking at two different screens. Shyred Fox, thank you for following. New channel on the Discord, I spy. Indeed you do spy a new channel on the Discord. I am making a forum on my Discord server for all of the different prompts that are coming. Oh gosh. I can't. Oh my gosh, is your name like off the— Cassie Storyweaver, thank you for following. Your name's like off the screen for me. My keyboard is primed. Oh my gosh, everyone. Oh, let's see. Oh, Claire Sagas, also thank you for following. Can't wait to contribute. Yes, absolutely. So I am making these little— Stiltus, also thank you for following. All the notifications are just coming in back to back. Yeah, so I just have these little forums that I'm going to be working on. You can talk about like your ideas, your questions, your resources that you find that can help out with everything. Oh gosh. And Clairvol, thank you for following as well. Oh, my computer's having a hard time keeping up with with everything that's going on. Yes, oh my gosh. Melody Relody, also thank you for following. And it's looking like Inquisitor. I will also preemptively thank you. Yeah, so what is a good, yeah, Inquisitor777, thank you for following as well. Gosh, this is fun. How does everyone feel about the prompts that have been released today? Because I know I'm very excited about a lot of them. And so that is why I'm here. I'm ready to just dive into them and start working on them, as it were. So there's just so many good ones. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the perfect emoji to signify what a title would be. So we'll just have to pick that out real quick, and then we can get on with the show. Oh, basically every single one was the universe screaming at me, "Finish your novel!" Oh gosh. Completely understandable. I only need ideas for 3 more, but may just do the ones I have ideas for first. Heck yes, just knock them out real quick, and then get to the ones that are challenging. You know, maybe go back and forth. Maybe do one prompt, then do another one, then see if an idea has come to you for the one that you're missing. I'll have to think it over with a sippy. Ah! Why, thank you. For the newcomers to the stream, what are you working on? Well, what I am working on right now is I'm setting up little forums in my Discord server for people to talk about specific prompts as much or as often as they wish. So whatever questions, comments, concerns, or help you may have for working on each individual prompt, there will be a space for you in my Discord server. Oh, and here comes the sippy train. Oh my goodness. Why, thank you. Sometimes I do need to just take a break and take a sip. Sometimes I just be saying stuff. Oh. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, I think I am most excited for I think I'm most excited for the natural law prompt. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think that there was gonna be one. But now it's here, and I'm like, ooh, you know, I have a couple things that I might want to write about for that prompt. And of course, the Melikaj Barons over in Arsavella need a little bit of development. So I can start writing about what is actually going on there, and what is happening, and what may or may not be happening. You know, because the people don't really know, but I do. Kind of. It's under development, so I may know eventually. I'll take this. Alright, beautiful. Edit tags. Title. So yes, I've gotten a couple of the prompts in here already. I'm up to prompt 7, and then once I finish that, I will simply start writing. I'm gonna start making some articles, I'm gonna start doing some actual writing, and so I invite all of you to do that with me. Oh, I see we have a newcomer. I will check that later. But yeah, so we need natural law, because that is also another one. We're just gonna put in a volcano, because that makes the most sense to me. Another species and tradition. We will grab something. So alright, here we go. Tradition. I think that should be the last one for this week. Yay, bring the disaster at the natural love prompt. Heck yes. And you think I could use a nuke for the destructive event if no one in-world knows what a nuke is? Supernatural event to them, right? Certainly. Yeah, if they have no idea what that is, they can just assume it's from nature. They can just assume it's like a normal, natural thing that happens, even if they're wrong. You know, like when some of the themes were dropping, some of the things that I was thinking in my brain was like what do people think is powerful and why? Or like why are they wrong? So like why are they right, why are they wrong? Those can be really fun things to play with when you're world building. So like you, the writer, you know in here what's actually happening, but the people that you're puppeteering with your writing don't. Sometimes they just don't know a single thing, and sometimes that's like way more fun. And atoms are natural, right? Yes, of course. Let's see, where am I? Template, natural law, a destructive or supernatural event. Week 1, power, bam. We get that 2023, we get that natural law. Prompt 8. It's about a destructive event in your world that is, or is perceived as, natural. What forces tear apart different parts of your world? Alright, so there we go. We've made that one. So we got 2 more, and we got the 2 wild cards. Okay, I'm actually in love with prompt 9, just like the species template. Species known for its mischievous personality. I love that. And especially as someone who is a big fan of birds, part of me just wants to make a bird for summer camp. That is very mischievous. Ooh. You know, I could write about my favorite bird from Bestiary February. I could write about the sea scamp. I could make him a whole article about how he just runs up and steals food from people. Oh, that's gonna be the best. That's gonna be the best. I think I'm gonna do that, but we'll see. Week 1 wild card. Species known for its mischievous personality. Prompt 9. A creature in a world that is simply up to no good. What critters of your world act as a minor or major menace in your world? I love that. I feel like that one's gonna be my favorite one to write, but as far as like the world building content that I need to write about for my world, especially since I got my Dimmy mission today, that's really exciting. The natural law prompt is gonna be actually an amazing way to tie into that, because we're gonna be writing about what's going on in the Barrens and what's going on, like, you know, by extension to the rest of our Savella over time. And that is a good way for me to tie in these pesky antecedents who people just simply cannot know anything about at this point in time. The demission. Yes. So, alright, and so our final prompt of this week is the tradition template, a popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity. Well, if anyone has a meta world over on World Anvil, you know, writing about the real life, you could write about summer camp. Our little summer camp adventure could indeed be this tradition. It's popular, it's summertime, it involves art and creativity. Can't go wrong. But alas, summer camp does not exist in my world, though it should. Oh, I'm so excited. This is gonna be such a fun summer camp. I was talking in the Discord server not the other day, earlier today. I was like, I have all this energy. The feral is taking over. I was so feral to the point where I did dishes today. Like, I just woke up and I did dishes. I washed the sink. I went grocery shopping. All in, like, the span of an hour before summer camp stream started. Oh my goodness. In case you can't tell, I'm a little bit excited for summer camp. Only slightly. Only a little bit. A tasteful amount, if you will. The Midsummer Festival is an amazing and important plot point in my book. Heck yes. Yeah, if you don't have an article about that yet, here is your in. Absolutely, I would recommend you do this. Let's see, prompt 10 is about a tradition in your world. Is feral and excited, only a spoonful. Only a little, only a tasteful amount of excitement. We certainly are not going around biting people. Maybe. Tradition in your world that takes place in the summer or similar season. Not all worlds might have a summer. So yes, it takes place in the summer or similar season. That revolves around art and creativity. One could consider summer camp a real-world example. Summer festivity. Ooh, festivities? No, festivities occur in your world. Alright, so we already have the tradition template, I'm pretty sure. I think I already made that. Yes, cool, here we go. Alright, cool. So we have all 10 of our prompts for this week now exist. And now we can just kind of move on to other things. Alright, so let me get Streamlabs out here. We can start working on stuff. Well, bam! We go to these other things. Alright, so now it begins. Now we start thinking about what we actually want to write about and where we wish to go first. I must go. Destiny calls. Enjoy the world building. Why, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the world building throughout the rest of the month. Yes, my next stream will be tomorrow, although tomorrow I will be doing more gaming than writing. Sunday is my little break day, but we will be back with more world building on Tuesday as well, so if I see you then, I shall see you then. If not, best of luck with summer camp and happy world building. I'm picking up more notifications. Help. Okay, no. We are on a mission. We must write. We must do things. Thank you, catch you again. Why, thank you. Alright, so which prompt do we want to start with? Or I don't know, should I just jump right into writing an article, or should I start making some notes and thinking about what I plan to be writing? Because I feel like I work a lot better when I do it that way. So let's see what this page opens up to. Tomies. Summer Camp 2023 page? What's in here? Bunch of pledges. Alright. Alright. Prompt plotting. So yes, I'm using Notion to just kind of get my ideas onto paper, if you will. Little notepad. Oh, and I'm gonna refresh this page to see if our... Ooh, yes, okay. All the prompts are here. Very nice, very cool. I'm curious why the sponsors aren't shown on here. Because I know during World Ember the sponsors were shown on the prompts. That's okay. But alright, so let me see. A powerful organization in my world. We're just gonna grab these and we're gonna write some thoughts. Like we're not gonna get the ideas out yet, like, you know, what exactly I'm going to be writing about. We're just gonna think. We're gonna take some notes down. It's okay, when I think of prompt 1, unfortunately, I think of 2 organizations that I've already written about, that already have articles in my world. And so, first thoughts. Alabaster Hand. And Umber Gold. Can't make new articles for these. So I have to think something new. However, these 2 organizations can give me a lot to work with in the rest of the prompts. So yes, even though I can't write articles for these 2 organizations because they already exist, they're gonna give me a lot of material to work with. Because even though I have articles for the actual organizations, I don't have a lot of other information about them written yet. So I don't have a lot of the people written, I don't have a lot of the titles written, I don't have a lot of really anything written for them. So yes, so I won't be able to make an organization article for them, but the Seat of Power, the second prompt, Aurel, the city that they are from, does not have an article yet. Aurel lacks an article. Best choice, in my opinion, for me to tackle. So yeah, I think with that prompt, I already know what I'm gonna work on. Let's see, a resource that provides power. What is Notion? Can you recommend it? Oh, I can absolutely recommend it. So this is what it is. It is gosh, how do I describe this? It is a fantastic like note-taking website app thing. I don't know if there's an app. I know I use it mostly browser-based. But you can assemble notes and like have interconnected pages, and you know, it kind of reminds me of World Anvil, but specifically for taking notes. Like it's a crazy awesome organizational tool with a lot of different options for like tables and databases and all other kinds of crazy things. And you can do a lot with it if you learn how to really properly manipulate it. And so yeah, so you can just kind of, you hit the little slash and you get options like you can put in text or a new page, to-do lists, headings, tables, lists, quotes, dividers, link to things. Are there tutorials on site? I think there are tutorials on the site. I feel like most of the tutorials, if any, that I've had came from like a YouTube. Some like videos of people who are using it and being like, hey, here's how you can do this cool thing. But it's really not complicated. It's just, yeah, if you want to make fancy like interconnected databases that autofill things for you, there's a lot of things you can do with that. And I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit. And if you want something like Notion but for desktop for free, try Obsidian. Yes, Obsidian is so cool. I keep seeing people sharing stuff about it. I don't know. Ooh. For prompt 1, I have 3 options: Polish-inspired country, Arthurian-inspired country, or a USA-inspired country. Advice. Well, I mean, my advice for you on this would be focus on what people in your world you want to develop more, and then just kind of pick that spot. Because my lens for summer camp this year is going to be like filtered through Arsavella. So anything that I can do that fits that region of the world is what I'm going to write. So if you do something similar, and you say, okay, well there's this part of the world, or there's this group of people that I want to write about more. Oh, sorry, no, Arthurian, I already wrote it. Trade League comes in its place, sorry. Yeah, don't you worry about that. But yeah, because I know you were talking the other day about having like a Polish-inspired like part of your world because of so many like Polish immigrants in the real world who got shoved over there. So maybe If you were like already on that train a little bit, I might recommend the Polish-inspired country. Mayhaps. But yeah, a resource that provides fuel or power. That's gonna be a tough one for me, because I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what I would write for this one. So because I'm stumped, and only because I'm stumped, I'm just going to keep going. We're gonna move on to the next one. Animal associated with or symbolizing power. Okay, let's go patriotic. Whoa! Firewood. Oh, true. There would be a lot of firewood. Souls. Zombie goblin coming in with the true advice. Maybe. Maybe. There may be parts of my world where that may be something relevant, but maybe not here. Maybe. Maybe. Resource that provides fuel or power. See this, okay, Arsavella is a very, it is a very faith-based region, because of the fact that there's not a lot of magic in it. Like this is, like historically this is how I describe this place, like this is the least magical part of my world, where the environment, the region is practically unaffected by it. And that's just kind of how it's been for a very long time, and so the magic of faith is predominant in this region, because that's what people know, that's what people see. And so there's a lot of worship, there's a lot of faith, because faith is the only way that people see things, you know, of a magical nature happening around them. And so, a resource that provides fuel or power, we could take it away from the context of, like, literal fuel, like, you know, technological, and we can make it something faith-based. We could turn it into something that powers a ritual. We can turn it into something that fuels someone's faith, their connection to the gods. And that is something we'll want to note down. I don't have an idea of exactly what that would be, what that would entail, but it's an idea. And so this is valuable. Instead of thinking technologically, I can consider Isabella's connection to faith. I fuel my faith with pizza. Coincidentally, it also fuels my body. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I could really go for some pizza right now. Like some good pizza. Or I don't know, because whenever I think of good pizza, I think of stuffed crust pizza. And Pizza Hut is the only place that I know that does like stuffed crust the way I really like. Even though the pizza itself is not always like good, I still think it's delicious. I don't know. Now I'm just gonna be thinking about stuffed crust pizza for the rest of my life. Stuffed crust? What is this abomination? Ooh. It is, I think you mean, what is this blessing upon humanity? That is just cheesy goodness oozing out of a pizza crust. This part of the pizza that I usually don't really care for very much, but now has the added incentive of cheese flowing through it. Ah, so good. I have a cheese obsession. It needs to stop eventually, but not today. Sorry, I just slapped my microphone. I hope that didn't hurt anybody. I have no way of knowing from my end. Yeah, we can consider Arsavel's connection to faith. And ponder. What materials? I doubt an Italian from Italy would agree. Oh. Those darn folks across the Atlantic and their pizza abominations. Listen, I saw the pizza abominations that you guys were talking about earlier in the summer camp chat, and I wept. But as long as we don't consider pineapple on pizza to be an abomination, it's pretty good. I'll watch myself lose followers over that one, but but that's fine. I stand by my beliefs here. Yeah, we can consider Arsavella's connection to faith and ponder what materials might fuel the faith of the people, as well as their holy rituals. More traditions. I think you were the first person I heard praising pineapple on pizza. I don't... It's good. Like, I thought it was... I think it's good. It's like, it's that, like, sweet and savory kind of deal going on. And, like, you don't think it would work until you try it. It's like, I remember looking at it when I was younger, like, ew, that sounds absolutely disgusting. I would never eat that. And meanwhile, here I am ordering from Domino's, like, oh yeah, give me the give me the pineapple and the ham on the pizza, please. My, how times change. Yes, thinking technologically. Alright, so an animal associated with or symbolizing power. Well, faith's a banger of a fuel source, way more destructive than regular stuff, right? Well, historically, yes. Historically, there are a lot of destructive forces carried by faith and what it brings. And so, we could either say that the faith itself is a resource, or we can find actual material resources that contribute to faith and fuel that for the people. And so that is some stuff to ponder for sure. An animal associated with or symbolizing power. That's gonna be a very tough one. So we'll say this. Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark, face-melting power of faith. And good too, power isn't always destructive. Absolutely. Yeah, not everything needs to be destructive just because it's powerful. So that is a theme I would like to play with more and more as I get into it in my world. And so let's see, what animal would I associate with power? So Arsavella. My power animal might end up being human. They desperately need an article or maybe a duck. Oh, posting judging criteria for material shortly. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I don't know yet if I plan to release like a judging criteria. Well, I probably should. Oh, and spoiler for anyone who didn't know, I am indeed going to be a sponsor for this year. My template just hasn't been released yet, so we're keeping it quiet. Wouldn't want to leak what's coming ahead. Aside from the fact that I will be sponsoring a prompt, but that's different. Because I know what my template's going to be, and I'm like, ooh, I know little secrets. But I have to hold on to those secrets for another 2 weeks. So it's ooh. It's one of those like, oh, I'm getting itchy, I want to tell people. Yeah, I'm very excited. Have some... So it's a relic prompt then? On the relics theme, yes. Which is actually really great, because the relics, like, theme is my favorite one, I think. Oh, you don't know the prompt. Yeah, I do not know the exact prompt, I just know the template. And even that still feels like a juicy secret. I'm like, I know things that other people don't. But yeah. I know. Yeah. It's so fun. Yeah. So let's see. Artsville would have some of the most normal animals at its disposal. But that doesn't mean that we can't. It's a little interesting. I also know a template from the gold. Yes, it is that season, it is that time we have secrets to hold on to until it is time to unleash them upon the world. Ah. And so, yeah, so that is just contributing to my excitement for this event. It's like, you know, the prompts are here, we're thinking about them, we're brainstorming, we're coming up with ideas. Now I also have like little secrets to keep. Ooh. Oh, life is so good in the summertime. Can't get any better than this. Ooh, and I also, oh my gosh, I bought one of my favorite snacks today. We got the Oreo Cakesters. the gift to man. They stopped making these for years, and then I just started seeing them on the store shelves again. I'm like, ooh, it is time. I'm living my best life again. I'm having my Oreo cakesters, my favorite little snack. And because I just thought that it'd be good for like the summer vibes. What is it for the uneducated European? Cookies without raisins. Oh wait, yes, that means I did get cookies today. um, yeah, so they're basically like Oreos, except the cookie is like cake. So they're like cakey instead of like, you know, crispy cookie. And they're just really good. They're like soft baked cookies with the cream in the middle. Amazing. So it kind of is like a giant Oreo, but it's like a giant soft Oreo. But yes, on the topic of summer, I also got rainbow cookies. Beautiful. I love these things. I love how excited you got about that just now. Listen, completing a quest is always so exciting. I would balloon. That's good I'm not in reach of them. It's alright. I bought a wooden carved and painted barn swallow when I went on a quick adventure to Sweden a few days ago, and now I keep petting and stroking it. Oh, that's so cute! I love that. I love barn swallows. I think they're such a lovely creature. And like I was watching a show with my partner yesterday, and it's one of those like Japanese dating shows. It's called Love Village, and the important part about this story is that they live in this like super old traditional Japanese style house that basically they have to fix it up together while they're there, and that's how they kind of like get to know each other and they bond together, which super fucking cute. PG, super cute. Um, it's adorable, but because they're living in this super old house, they have little like swallow nests in there because the birds just kind of moved in. They live there now, and so every once in a while, the camera will just like go to this nest of swallows, and they're just hanging out. They're looking around. They're flying around. They're so cute. I love them. And so I thought I'd share that little story with everybody. Yeah, back to brainstorming. We got a little off topic. Yeah, Arthivella would have some of the most normal animals at its disposal, but that doesn't mean we can't get a little interesting by twisting existing creatures and giving them just a hint, just a hint of fantasy flair. Non-magical does not have to mean. Yes, non-magical does not have to mean real world. Yeah, they're Estonia's national bird, which is why I went for it. Whole trip was pretty spontaneous, mostly just hungry for steak and adventure, so I took the train from Copenhagen to Sweden. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, gosh, I wish I could just do that. You know, in the US, I would have to drive like 5 hours. Well, okay, I guess I could drive like 2 hours just to get out of my state. And so most of these spontaneous adventures that I would have need to be, you know, a little bit longer if I want to really go somewhere. It only took like 45 minutes to get to Malmo, yeah. It's a tough one. Yeah, this is one of them that I struggled with. The animal one that I do have giant, like mammoth hunting size bears, but it's already super written out. Thoughts on a type of animal to get my gears churning? Ooh, okay. So thoughts on a different type of animal. Because I'm thinking about this region of my world, it's very like woodland meets shoreline. I'm thinking a lot about smaller creatures, actually. I'm thinking a lot about foxes. I'm thinking about creatures that like to live on cliffs and crags. So maybe some rams, some goats. I know when I think of rams as an animal of like representing power, I think of dwarves. Because I know a lot of like the traditional depictions of dwarves, like they're riding rams into battle, and they have like ornamental armors and things out of like ram horns. Like they're so cool. I'm sorry for the wall of text. Oh, don't you apologize. That's okay. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, we don't have mass transit anymore. We're huge, and all the interesting places have days of travel between them. Yep, that's just the US curse. Oh, I realize I do have seals I could talk about. Shoreline is nearby. Heck yes, talk about the seals. Yes, talk about your shore creatures. Okay, so animals off the top of my head. Worth considering. Okay. So during Bestiary February, I wrote, or like I did my little doodles of a particular type of owl that lives in Arsavella. And part of me wants to take that creature and like make that into the like powerful image that's like kind of the representation of this kingdom. And so I think that would be a fun one to consider once I actually get down to it and start properly writing about these things. But we'll just say animals off the top of my head worth considering. We'll say Savellan barn owl. Northland rams. Let's see, who else was I thinking of? Foxes. And we'll see what else. I'm wondering if I should like I'm wondering if I should post my little ramblings in like an article on World Anvil so people can see like how I come up with my ideas and how I just tackle prompts from the beginning. Would that help people? Would people find that interesting? I don't know. Let's see, but okay. So I have to go check real quick to make sure that I don't actually have an article for the thing I'm about to mention. Terran Faithless. Okay, you do have an article, indeed. So yeah, and this was for Summer Camp 2020, so this is pre-existing content. So we can't make it new, but we can write about it at some point. We'll see. Rhymes would be pretty cool. I might need to find a handy D10 real quick to figure out what to start with. Oh, gotta go now before I dig into prompts proper. Have a great stream, everyone. Go feral on the prompts. We are going feral, keeping that feral energy going. And yes, feral, like, the feral, like, finger wiggling every time I can't figure out a word to type. Yes, so it is good times out here in the world building sphere. Yes, a culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. I feel like I should put numbers on these, because that'll just make it easier for me to just... Okay, now, so I was hoping that Oop, not 5, 4. Here we go. So here we go. A culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. Once again, I find myself wanting to write about something that already exists in my world. The Terran Faithless. Naturally, a region where faith is considered by some to be paramount. Bearing none of your own can be a societal stain. We'll have to ponder what else we could focus on. What other cultures may exist either here or in neighboring areas. over which Aurel has power. So yeah, the dice decided I must work on a mischievous creature, which is probably the one I was least prepared for. Well, that is how RNG works. Sometimes they just tell you, oh, this thing that you weren't ready for, here you go. It's time. Get ready. You best be ready to get to work. So let's see. Military conflict. Conflict between two unequal powers in your world. Now this is the one that I'm going to be least prepared for, no matter what. Because I don't know conflicts. Because I'm still in such a phase where I'm like, I still have so much that I need to develop. Just in general, in the people and all the things, that I don't know who I would put in conflict against each other. I've already written about a few. And of course, it says military conflict. But I could maybe try to figure out something that's just a little bit less severe. Maybe something like interpersonal. Two unequal political parties, maybe. Where they just duke it out, but maybe not in like literal military proportions. We'll see. Might do some kind of Arctic fox kind of thing. I've had foxes rummage through my trash plenty of times to consider them mischievous. Yes, of course. Well, yeah, when I think of mischief, I definitely think of foxes. I think of ferrets, you know, like weasels and things. You know, if you have something that a ferret should not get into, they will absolutely try, and they will absolutely go for it. And so, yeah. Oh yeah. Foxes, ferrets. Who else? Cats? Certainly cats. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, actually, that has given me the exact idea. Because I'm sure some of us might be familiar with let's just go to my world real quick. I'm sure some of us may be familiar with this map over here. And all the little paw prints that are all over it. It may be time. Maybe time to write about the little creature that left them. My house cats were an apex predator article. Oh no. A rap battle between two soldiers in barracks, except one clearly has a better understanding of rhyme and rhythm. Preppy Monty Poppycock, you are always coming in here with the best ideas I've ever heard. Yeah, oh my gosh, hold on. So if we... Thank you for the spark of inspiration. Hold on. Close this real quick. Species known for its mischievous personality. So, I have this map. And it's covered in little feetsies. Club Moon, hello, welcome! How are you? How are you doing? Welcome to my little corner of the internet. Yes, let's see. I have this map and it's covered in little feetsies. We're gonna get rid of this real quick. Covered in little feetsies. Who do these belong to? What kinds of pets might people in Arsavella keep? I'm inclined to think this would be a feline of sorts. It's a very lovely map. Do you have any plans to resubmit a map for the next World Building Awards as well? Well, I guess that depends on whether or not I make another map. And of course, I do have plans for things that I'm going to be developing and working on, and well, I'm doing well. This is from World Anvil, right? Yes, of course, this is for World Anvil. We are working on summer camp, because our first 10 prompts have dropped today. And so we're just doing some brainstorming, some thinking about what I might actually want to write about for these prompts. And so right now I'm just taking little notes, just thinking, like, filtering all the things that are running through my head, running through my brain, what ideas I might just go translate into articles later on, either this week or, you know, throughout the month. I do have a map work in progress. Last year I hadn't made a single map for my own world, so I couldn't submit. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I couldn't submit to a couple things because I didn't have a world primer. So biggest things on my list for this year, like, you know, before the end of the year, hopefully before World Ember, just period, full stop. Um, so like, you know, after summer camp ends, before World Ember begins, I'm hoping to have a world primer done. I want a more fleshed out meta. There are a couple articles that I would really like to work on. Oh, and Club Moon, thank you for following. Much appreciated. As my first event on World Anvil, welcome! Oh my gosh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I send you these little cheers for you. I hope it's a wonderful time for you. Oh, I've been avoiding the metas so far. You know, that's fair. I'm not super invested in the meta because I know that's like, you know, that's information for me. And so, I don't know. Some of the questions, answering them has been really helpful for me, just kind of like focusing on what I'm trying to do. But if you already know what you're doing, if you're like already in it, it's not necessary. It's not required. But yes, 3 cheers to the first time summer camper. It's so exciting to see how many new people we have in the community, just like not only just being here in the community, but also just jumping into these events. Cause like, it's so fun. Meta is my least favorite part of World Anvil. Yeah, like it's, and like different strokes, but my meta is everything. Yes, yeah, so like obviously like it's very mixed. You know, we have people who love it, we have people who hate it, we have people who are like, you know, kind of in the middle, which is where I am. Like it's not my favorite thing, but I also don't think it's a bad thing to do. I think it's really helpful. But yeah. I think a primer for me is going to be a lot more helpful than the meta. Or more valuable, I should say. For summer camp, yes, all these first-time campers. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I get to spread all of this energy and love for the platform to all these new campers, existing campers, veteran campers. I think this year I crossed the threshold into veteran camper because this is my 5th, and so that's pretty exciting. I came across World Anvil when I decided to make a world for D&D or an RPG, and I adore it. Yes, exactly. That was basically the exact same seat I was in when I found World Anvil back in 2018. Yes, I think. Yeah, I was just trying to find a place where I could host all of my world building information. Oh, you're self-motivated, Strix. Not all of us are quite that disciplined. Listen, let me tell you something about my motivations. So much of my motivation is me procrastinating on other things that I desperately need to be doing. Like, you know that thing where you have all this stuff that you need to do and you just start cleaning your house instead? So you're left with this beautiful, spotless house, and anyone who comes over is like, wow, this person has their shit together. So yeah, from the outside it looks like, wow, this person has everything together, they're so disciplined, and meanwhile, like, the back room or like the basement is on fire, flooded. There are things that we need to take care of, but they're just not happening. But at least my living room is beautiful, spotless. It's ADHD, yes, there it is. It's the ADHD lifestyle, my friends. I be doing stuff, but I should be doing other stuff. We will take a sip and carry on. The little oopsie daisies of not having a brain that wants to cooperate with you. We're just gonna copy over a couple of things in here. Let's get the last of the prompts on this page. Destructive natural event. I mean, if hot mess is a lifestyle, then sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I will give myself some credit. I have been trying really, really hard in the past, like, year or two to be a lot more on top of things, to, like, just do more work, be a little bit more organized, and just kind of have my plans set out ahead of me. Not every single one of those plans is, like, achieved every single time, you know, just naturally. It happens. But having those plans in mind at least helps me complete a lot more of them than I would if I was just running through life by the seat of my pants, you know what I mean? Just kind of by the flow of things. Because ADHD brain doesn't really go by the flow of things. ADHD brain kind of hangs out by the flow of things. If I didn't plan anything, I would go nowhere. So, here we are. Like, just the fact that I have a consistent stream schedule already is like a miracle in and of itself. But having that schedule makes me, like, it motivates me. Like, I have a schedule that I need to stick to, and like, I'm here, and this is what I can expect throughout the week. Like, this is where I am, this is where I am going to be. Yeah. And so speaking of stream schedules, I will be streaming on Fridays during the month of July. I just need to pick a time. I need to choose a time, and some gear wrenches got thrown into my gears for this week in particular, because I was not supposed to have work on Friday this week, but because they are so we have Tuesday off, right, for the 4th of July, but we didn't have Monday off. So what they did was basically they were like, okay, you can take Monday off if you want to come in on Friday instead. I would rather have a 5-day weekend. So I took the Monday option. But that means I have work on Friday again. So I cannot stream quite as early as I would like. So maybe I'll do a Friday evening stream. I'm going to be doing article reads. So, I will say this. If you have articles that you submit, like you've finished an article for this week by Friday, send me your favorite, or like send me multiple and I will choose a favorite of them, and I will read them on my Friday stream. So there's some motivation for you to submit your articles this week. At least one. At least one. And if you send that to me, you can send it to me on Discord. That is totally fine. Ah, so thirsty.
Refresh yourselves.
Oh, why yes, thank you. I am a little bit thirsty. Took Friday off in honor of Taylor Swift's release of Speak Now, Taylor's version. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'm so tempted to just take Friday off anyway. Cause like we're not really doing anything at work this week. So I don't really need to be there. I'm just trying to save up that I don't know. I guess I'll get back to you guys soon. When I'm gonna put in a time off request. Straight up, like we finished the main like thing of work that we were doing to the point where like we have other people like doing we have people in our department doing work for other departments because we just kind of, you know, we're out of things to do for the moment. So yeah, I might see if I can get a little cheeky Friday off so I can stream earlier in the day. Yeah, okay, let's see. Conflict between two unequal powers in your world. What powers in my world do I have an unequal proportion? You know, actually, who? Okay, hold on. So, we were just talking about how Arsavella is extremely faith-based. There's a lot of faith going on, so of course that means there are deities involved. So what if there was a conflict between a deity and a person or a group of people? How might that have unfolded, and how might it have ended? Because of course you think of people fighting with gods. It doesn't typically go very well. I wonder what kind of story we can spin from that. And so that's another exciting little thing to consider. Let's see, conflict between two unequal powers in your world. We will say this. As Arsavella is a very faith-based region, one might consider possibility of conflicts arising between man and divine throughout history. How might one of these conflicts pardon me. Alright, so how might one of these conflicts affected parts of the region? It's local history, regional scriptures, or more. if this conflict wasn't great enough, perhaps it impacted populations in a major way, leaving different cultures in a minority or majority. Phone vibrating? Do not. Yeah, leaving different cultures in a minority or majority. That was not the case prior. Alright, so that's something to consider. Instead of a more traditional conflict, I would certainly consider people and divines to be an unequal power. So if they quarreled in the past, who knows what kind of effects those might have had on the people, on the region, on just the makeup of everything. The faith, the culture. Scriptures could have been altered completely. Could be fun. A fun thing to consider. Let's see, title and responsibilities of an important person in your world. Now, I did mention above, in the powerful organization in your world, that there are indeed 2 organizations that exist in Arsavella that I've already written about, but have not developed very much. And so, we can take these 2 organizations, considering Alabaster Hand, as well as Umber Gold. Would be different power structures involved between them both. And we should start thinking about who makes up these ranks. What are their titles, and what do they do? Now, of course, during my homework, I started talking a little bit more about Umber Gold and the language that they came up with that was Gold Rune. And so that is a very artfully done cipher that is so distinctly, jealously guarded that anyone with the information on how they work and how they function are carefully watched. They make sure that none of these messages, none of these ciphers get out of the organization's hands, and so on and so forth. And so, some questions, of course, were posed like, how do people learn this if it's not allowed to get out anywhere? If they don't see it, if they don't study it? Well, they'll see it and study it, but not openly. So naturally, there must be someone who is teaching people in this organization how this works, how this functions, how they can use it, and how they can take advantage of it. So we'll see. During homework, the question of who teaches the cipher of Gold Rune to members of Umber Gold, if it is such a jealously guarded secret. This teacher / role is one I would be interested in exploring. So yeah, there is at least one more prompt where we have a distinct idea of what we might want to work on and what we might like to do. And so we carry on onto the next. So let's see, destructive natural or supernatural event. This is another prompt that I have something that I distinctly want to work on. And so we're just gonna have to explore what exactly that means for us. What ideas are going to be flying around and what aspects of this disaster we would like to focus on. So I would also need to think of how I want to describe it, like where I want to put the focus. Because it's going to be the state of what is happening in the Melakaj Barrens, and that is in the southern region of Arsavella. It would be characterized by rapid desertification, sandstorms, like just things are drying out and causing major problems for the people who live there, because Arsavella is a like agricultural powerhouse essentially. And so we are coming into this event now where that is being rapidly taken away. And it's creeping ever north. And so we are, of course, in one of those situations where, you know, the people see there's stuff happening, stuff is going wrong, and the government's like, no. No, no. Oh, important reminder from World Anvil Discord, remember to reset stubs. Yes, absolutely. If you are working with stub articles, that is articles under 50 words, you can use those articles for summer camp, but you need to reset the date. In fact, let's see. I'm just gonna go grab any stub article that I have. Let's see. Stub articles, just like little quick real-time. I have a couple. 99% of these came from a challenge where I was just distinctly trying to write stub articles. I usually don't use them very much. Let's see. Oh, but I do also have Battle for Light, which is a military conflict that is against very unequal powers. You know, it's a consideration. We might try it, we might see. Alright, so we're gonna go Battle for Light. We're gonna just go edit this article. So here we are on our little draft page. Let's see. Advanced tools and options, special actions, reset article creation data, reset date. Here you go. And that is how you do. Had to delete an article in the past due to forgetting to reset the stub date. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, so it is that easy. You just go into the article editing screen, advanced tools and options, special actions, hit the little reset date button, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, you can do this with stub articles. So your little itty bitty boys with the 50 words or less, and then you'll be all set. It lets you do that for which articles? For stub articles. So any of your articles that have less than 50 words. So your little itty bitty baby articles. So like, this is all the content in this article. This is a stub. There is under 50. So this is for all the articles you make where it's like, oh, you just made this article and you put in like a sentence so people know what you're talking about. Yeah, do that before you start writing in it. Before you start writing, because once you're over the 50, you can't reset it like that anymore. But of course, you know, like spirit of the competition, like if this was a stub before you started working on it, you write stuff in it and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to reset the date. Like spirit of the competition, man. You know it was a stub, just delete the words, reset the date, keep writing. Just, like, don't do that with articles that already exist in your world that are above this amount. You know, it's the honor system. And so, yeah, the article's creation date has been set to the current date and time, so there you go. That is what you should do with your stub articles if you're going to be writing in those. And, Facebird McSweeney, thank you for following. Love that name. Am I biased because it has bird in the name? Anyway, that is a very good piece of advice from the World Anvil Discord, so thank you very much for that. So yeah, let's just keep moving along, keep chugging along on this. Yeah, and just watch me. I'm going to start working on an article, and I'm just not going to reset the date, and we're just going to have this whole issue again. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, destructive natural or supernatural event. Definitely shop your stubs first, yes. If you're British, there's a word in my name too. Oh, I mean, true. I mean, it's true if you're not British too. Little rooster vibes. Or one of my favorite birds. One of my favorite birds indeed, the American woodcock. If you know what I'm talking about. You're a real one? Yeah, destructive, natural, or supernatural event. So what we've got here, what we've got going on, the Melokaj Barons. In southern Arsavella, undergoing a rapid desertification. I can't think about the word desertification without thinking of, like, desserts. Oh, I also enjoy viewing great tits, especially in pairs. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes I'm just out on the forest trail and I say, whoa, that's a great pair of tits out there. Beautiful birds. I love them. Oh, and also boobies? Who doesn't love seeing a good pair of boobies out on the beach, you know? I don't think I live anywhere close to where those might actually show up though, so... Oh, when I'm back home in Estonia, I often get great tits on my balcony. Whoa. They once even made a nest there. Wow, so you just have tits all over the place, year-round, maybe. I have a friend who's a streamer in the UK, and she's got a pair of little feathers on foam tits she shows off whenever someone comes in and asks to see them. It's a shame that people come in and ask. I mean, unless they're doing it for the bit. But it's good that she has a response. I love that. It's very cute seeing the parents trying to feed their loud babies all the time. Oh, that's so wonderful. Like, all memery. All memery aside. It's so fun. Well, she also says, show us your tits as a redeem. Yeah. So she's making the most of it. I love that. She's really running with it. Honestly, I should do something similar. Maybe not exactly that, now that I know someone's already done it. But, you know, we got the whole bird theme going. I should come up with some silly little channel point redeems. You know what, I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna make a little channel point redeem that's like, who? And I do something
Refresh
owl related.
yourselves.
Oh wait, thank you for the sippies. Show us your mugs. Here's my mug. Yes, the mug. This mug today says, let the adventure begin. And I think that is the perfect mug for first day of summer camp. The adventure has indeed begun. Yes, so this is an adventure I've been waiting for like the entire year. And so, oh, shrimp check. Oh, am I slouching? Do a little stretch. Oh. I'll sit up straight like a human being. And there we go. Why, thank you for the shrimp check. It's my little stop sitting like a bisexual button, basically. I have my shoes on still, so you don't see me putting my feet up on my chair, but I usually do. And so we can't be doing that. We gotta sit up. We gotta care about the health of our spines, as it turns out, or else they, you know, stop being healthy. But yeah. So for prompt 8, a destructive natural or supernatural event. So we do have the Melokaj Barrens in southern Arsavella is undergoing rapid desertification and wicked sandstorms. What is causing this? What is this phenomenon and what are its origins? Public reception of this stir differs greatly. How much power they have. The people most affected certainly see the effects. Closed in government in power is trying to pretend It's a non-issue. As many things do tend to happen when there is a disconnect between the people and the power. The people are struggling, and the powers that be say, "You're making that up. That's not actually happening. Relax. And stop sending us complaints by mail. We don't need to see it." Oh, now we're coming back to prompt 9, a species known for its mischievous personality. So yes, indeed I do have a map, and it's covered in little feetsies. So we must consider who do these belong to and what kind of pets might people in Arsavella keep. I'm inclined to think that this would be a feline of sorts. And so that is like my original thoughts, my original notes. But we did get on the topic of ferrets. And so what if we have this interesting combination in my world that is it's a feline, it's a cat, but it's very ferret-like. I would love that. I decided to go with a mink type thing. Yes, I love minks. They're so cute. I love these little creatures, and yeah, they're little problem makers. I love them. Our friends and Tomies must away keep with my own streaming schedule. See you around in the Discord. Moonlight Bard, have a wonderful time and enjoy your stream. Yes, I will catch you later for sure. I have some updates for the chapter, so looking forward to sharing that with everybody. So yes, away. And because I started a lot later today, I will also be running a lot later today. Well, not a lot, a half hour. Woot woot, yes. So yeah, I will probably be doing this until around 4:30 unless I get super into whatever I happen to be doing at that time. But we'll see. We got a whole nother half hour for planning and plotting. So yeah, stick around. It'll be fun. So yes, back to our thought and consideration. Inclined to think this would be a feline of sorts. Further pondering has prompted me to consider the following. A feline. Feline adjacent creature. Appearing to be a mix of a cat and a ferret. I can't get my article to show up in the challenge page. Oh no, what do you mean? Like you're submitting your article and then you go check your challenge page and it's not on there? Built one and published. Oh no. And like you definitely hit the submit button. Like the little like, get that in there button. Is it over 300 words? Yeah, I guess we'll see, cause oh yes. Yeah, so you is that the issue, or is it still a problem? Give it an hour then. Yeah, it also I would like maybe, yeah, we're not in a rush really. If you're genuinely having like an issue where like you've published your article, it's public, you hit the little submit button for the challenge and it's not showing up on your page, let someone know in the Discord, like in the community team. Oh, it's the judging criteria for my category. Oh, I see. Yeah, but if it's not showing up in your challenge page, I would let someone in the community team know, and we will see. But yeah, I don't know. It could also be like, you know, we've just begun. We've just begun, so things might just be catching up, a little bit rocky to the start, but I'm sure it'll get resolved, especially if you let someone know. But yeah, so let's see. A popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity. That is the last one on the list. And we'll just need to see where we might go. I was checking some stuff out. All right. Popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity. Da 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 da. What is in my brain right now? Nothing. Ever since I made that little comparison, it's like, oh, a real world example of this prompt would be summer camp. Now I can't stop thinking about summer camp. Not that I've stopped thinking about summer camp since August of last year, but yeah, I need to consider something. Maybe I will pull an example from another part of my world that I developed a little bit last year. I think it was last year. Or no, this wasn't during summer camp that I looked at this. I did this for just like a random prompt at some other time. The Sunburst Revel. And so here's an article I put together, just in response to prompt, describe a holiday tradition in one culture of your world. Lots of fun. I like doing this. So yeah, we have the Sunburst Revel, annual celebration held in Everbright at the height of the summer season. So yes, I already have something in my world that is a summer celebration, but it's in a different continent. It's in a completely different place. So, you know, other places are going to have different summer celebrations, but we can use this one that I've already written out as inspiration for another one. Oh, there it is, it published. Very good. Wonderful, I'm glad it worked out. But yeah, so we have in Everbright, we have this season of lights. So the ever-present blanket of light that coats the sky breaks into more concentrated streaks and fragments that dance along in the skyline. And so yes, this is a revel, a party that occurs at the height of the season where the lights of Everbright are properly dancing and weaving. And so I like to imagine this would be an awesome event, like, you know, in the real life. It's kind of like if you were celebrating the Northern Lights, more or less, where it'd be the equivalent of like the daytime sky being permanent and then just breaking into ribbons reminiscent of the Northern Lights, you know what I mean? And so that's what this is. They celebrate the season where this happens naturally. And yeah, so they celebrate with song and dance and joyous festivities. Special feasts are held with food and drink that are light on the stomach and uplifting to the spirit. So it's just, it's a celebration. Everyone's dancing, everyone's having a good time. And so, naturally, all the little foods and treats that they give to everybody support that. So, you know, nothing that weighs you down, nothing that makes you feel like you need to sit and process what you've eaten. No. No sitting, no digesting, only dancing and having a good time. And so it's celebrated for over 2 days, like over the course of 2 days. Though lesser festivities occur just throughout for weeks ahead or after. So yeah, performances and all other kinds of things. So that's just one example of a summer celebration that could exist in your world. Now this isn't quite, it's not quite based on art and creativity. So that would be, you know, the difference. So let's come up with something that does revolve around art and creativity. But I'm wondering, what in Arsavella would people consider art and creativity? I'm thinking something in the Harvest Belt, which is it's this region within Arsavella where like most of the big family farms are. So like it's basically if you could politicize farming, which I think in the real world there are places where farming is like very political. They're like feuding families. I would actually want to look into that. I would want to learn more about the dynamics at play in places like this, because that is exactly the dynamic at play in Arsavella. We have these like big farming families, and they have dominion essentially. Farming is very political in my municipality. Yeah, I imagine it would be. And so Arsavella is like outside of the capital. Arsavella is ruled by these families who like own and produce most of the agriculture for the region. Like this is what the region is known for. Like they are this powerhouse of agricultural means. And so these families outside of the capital basically make up the government. They rule everything. They decide how things run because, you know, the capital can't really be bothered with what happens outside of the city. Imagine RL kind of like the Vatican in the sense that like it's its own country, but it's also kind of just like a city. You know what I mean? So it considers itself and like its city to be its own country, its own region, and it mostly concerns itself with what's going on in there. Outside in the rest of Arsavella, though it does actually have dominion over these lands, they are kind of left to govern themselves. They kind of do what they will. Yeah, sixth biggest farming municipality in the country. Richest farmers are usually also politicians. Yeah, so there you go. And so that's basically exactly the kind of deal that we have in Arsavella, just on a much larger scale. So like if your entire country, like the whole thing, was ruled by this dynamic, that's basically what's going on here. And so, we were talking about celebrations, we're talking about summer traditions. And so something a little bit lighter than the politics, though we will be talking about the region in which these politics occur. Summer harvest season. Summer harvests and the harvest belt are celebrated. We're gonna say short-lived revelry. Speaking of summer harvest, my strawberries are starting to come along. Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. I'm so jealous actually. One of my friends shared pictures the other day. They went strawberry picking. And they posted the pictures in our group chat and like they were so beautiful, like ruby red little strawberries. I just wanted to grab them through my phone and just shove them in my mouth. I I love strawberries. They're so good. And I went to the store today. I should have bought some. A couple ripe berries every day. By next week, I'll be picking basket loads every day. Yes. Oh my gosh, that is the dream. In the future, I think I would love to grow strawberries myself. I just don't have a place for it right now. So that is, I will add that to my list of like life goals, essentially. Grow strawberries so that I can pick my own at home. Yeah, I love strawberries. They're so yummy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they are my favorite fruit. Or like, you know, berry, I should say. They are berries, yes. They're yummy. They're the perfect sweet, in my opinion. I've been buying and eating so many peas lately. Oh, hopefully when I go home in late July, I'll get to enjoy some fresh berries as well. Oh, very good. Yeah, I also have a very deep love for peas. So that's, I don't know, I feel like there's just a lot of things like this that I love, like apricots. I love apricots. I bought some from the store like last week or the week before for the first time in a very long time, and I'm like, oh, why do I not buy these more often? They're so good. I just, childhood me did not appreciate fruits and veggies nearly as much as they should have. Although I will say I was always a kid that did eat fruits and veggies because, you know, like my mom would give them to me and I would eat them and I'll be like, okay, cool. But now, oh my god, I go feral for certain types of fruit. Like, give me the fruit. Present them to me so I can just shove them in my mouth. Oh, when I'm old, I definitely just want to grow stuff and maybe have some chickens and ducks. Yeah, I would love to just have ducks. I know, I hear they're a lot of work and they can be very messy, so that's something I would have to look forward to. But they're also just so wonderful. They're wonderful little creatures, and I would love to have some. I would love to live just like a little cottagecore kind of lifestyle in the future where I have like, maybe not like a full-on homestead, but I have space and like land essentially where I can have little ducks and maybe chickens. Get my own little eggies. And so yeah, just like grow some fruits and vegetables in my own yard. Have some creatures that I raise and like, again, like chickens for eggs and things. My mom randomly brought like 15 chickens once upon a time. That's a lot of chickens. I and the woman even gave her a few extra for free. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That's some dedication too. 15 whole birds that you're just bringing back to your house. Need to rename my southern mountains in my world. Doesn't make sense for people south of them to call them southern. Oh, true. I mean, they could have a regional name. So maybe the people who actually live there might call them something different. That's an option. But so maybe the entire rest of the world is like, oh yeah, those are the southern mountains because they're way over there. But the people who actually live there are like, those mountains? The ones that are north of us? I don't think so. I'm looking after my neighbor's chickens this week. Quite low maintenance, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think chickens are a crazy amount of maintenance. I don't know, just like through the grapevine, I've heard that ducks are a lot messier, and so they're a little bit more maintenance, but I don't know. I do not speak from experience on either of those things, so. As long as you fox-proof their enclosure, yeah. I imagine that would be very important. I've heard some horror stories of times when people did not do this. Yeah, we had to quickly turn the fenced area where my dog lived into where my dog lived, a chicken coop. Problem was the fence had gaps that were too big at first, so the first day was just quite hectic as we reinforced it. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who just have like very much like free-range chickens. And that's pretty crazy. Like they just don't fence them in or anything, they just come home. We love that faith, but I would be too worried about just like someone snatching them up when they're just hanging out, you know? That sounds cool. World calls them Southern Mountains. People south of them call them Tatry, after mountains in Poland. Very cool. Yeah, like I think it's one of those really cool things that we get to explore as world builders. The fact that like especially in the real world, people call things different things based on where they live. So there might be like a global. You said Tatry correctly. Yara! Yay! Yeah, so like people will call things like there might be a global name for things like, the way that in English we have certain names for countries. But in the different languages and in their own like local regions, they have different names for their own countries. And so, they might be called different things from the outside, but they call themselves a certain thing. Their nearest neighbor might call them a different thing. Like there are so many different ways to name things, just all around. Free range are often stressed if there are predators in the area. Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like they would be a lot safer and happier in like a nice little enclosed place where they didn't feel like they were being hunted for sport on a regular basis. So. Yeah, too many foxes and wolves around to let them roam. Yeah, for sure. I most certainly recommend keeping them nice and safe and cozy in your own home. Well, not in your own home, unless you want that. I don't know if you want chickens inside of your house, though. Ooh. There are some words in this that I think I will mispronounce. My country is called Eesti in Estonian, Finns call us Viro, and Latvians Iguanija. Oh. I don't know if I said any of those correctly. Well, I probably said one of them correctly, maybe. We also have hawks here. Gotta have a rooster to protect the chickens. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, birds of prey. Absolutely. I feel like they would just take any opportunity to just go swoop on down and grab one of your chickens. So that's scary. Like, I see videos, too, of just people's, like, pets, like dogs, just getting snatched because they just happen to be outside. It's nutty. And so I feel like that's something that's so hard to protect from. Also, chickens are mean. Air superiority. Yeah. Come from specific regions in Estonia, where they named the whole country after. Viro being after Viru. Nice. Yeah, see, I love these little lessons going on in my chat. I'm learning a lot of things from you guys, and so I really appreciate that. A well-mannered rooster is essential to the flock, keeps hens from outright murdering each other. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine. It's like, again, like I was saying, like chickens can be very mean. Very mean birds. So like you just see them out there just killing snakes and stuff, you know? They don't care about nothing. Yeah, you don't want to be the lowest chicken on the totem pole. They peck them to death. Yeah. Not very friendly, not very nice. But they can also be very nice and very friendly. I have a little sippy, right quick. But yeah, back to what we were actually talking about. A popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity.
Refresh yourselves.
I put down my mug and you give me a sippy. Why, thank you. I seem to like when my mom gives them scritches. Yeah. I love seeing the videos of like little kids like hugging chickens, and they just like lean into the hug and they're just like, oh. It's my favorite. But yeah, summer harvests in the Harvest Belt are celebrated with short-lived revelry. The people are very industrious in nature, but will take some time. A celebration. Does anyone know how to lock an article to keep yourself from accidentally changing it? I don't think that's an option. Like, I don't think that that's a function, although that would be a really cool feature suggestion. Because I know a lot of people have, like, crazy anxiety about submitting things to events and such. So, like after the deadline, they're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. It's like, what if I accidentally edited it? I don't remember. And, yeah, so I think it'd be cool. Just don't click on it. That's hard sometimes. It's like, I don't know, sometimes I just click into an article to, like, steal some BB code from it. And so then I'm like, ooh, I need to, like, not accidentally hit any buttons so it doesn't say, like, updated. Yeah. So that's a tough one. But I think as long as you're very careful with that, it doesn't actually say that it's updated or anything. Because I don't think opening the editor does anything to the article. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I think just opening it in the editor doesn't do anything. You just need to not edit any of the text in there so it doesn't autosave. Ooh, but you know, we got on the topic of strawberries and berry harvests, and so I think that maybe in the summertime, in the Harvest Belt, this might be something that is like very kid-oriented. They might have like this like a berry gathering season where they gather all the berries, they like, you know, they gather all the berries, they start cooking and having like this whole, you know, like it's a whole celebration just based on the berries that are being harvested in this region. And so because it's largely kid-based, there's a lot of like arts and crafts and creative little things that they do together just to really foster the sense of like, yay, it's summertime and the berries are ripe, everything is good, it's sweet times. And I really like that idea. So we can just, working off the stream topic. Berry harvests. There may be a youth-oriented tradition in which they are sent out, harvest berries for what will be culinary event. Making all sorts meals and desserts with the berries they've gathered. Decorations can be made resembling berries. I'm gonna say one of the little highlights, one of the highlights of this celebration for many young Savellans is when, let's see. I'm gonna say squirrels. So when local squirrels or other local regional rodent mistakes their decorations for actual berries, and act perplexed. If a conflict started in year 100 and ended 103, it lasted for 3 or 4 years. I would just base that on when the start and end date are. So something could have been almost like, something could have practically lasted 3 years when there were 4 years in the count. So, you have 100, 101, 102, 103. But if it was at like the tail end of 100 and at the very beginning of 103, it more or less acts like it was 2 years. So it could vary tremendously based on when things began. When things began and ended. So yeah, I would base it on how much actual time was spent. Because it can range. It can range a lot. But yeah, so I guess that is another prompt where we have like a concrete idea for something that we want to write about. So that's really exciting. Now let's see how many of those we actually have. We're gonna color them. I'm gonna say blue. Yeah, so popular summer tradition that involves art and creativity. We are going to do something like a harvest, not festival necessarily, but like a little celebration. Like it's very minor in the grand scheme of things. It's just like it's berry season, so all the kids go out and they pick berries. They come home, their families, their communities, they make all these wonderful, delectable things with these berries that the kids have harvested, and before, during, and after this, they're just making little decorations. They resemble the berries that they're picking. They hang them up everywhere. And so this little tidbit that I've added in, like, oh, and they find it so amusing when the local insert rodent here, my thought was squirrels, when local squirrels think like, oh, delicious berries, and they start grabbing at these decorations, they're like, why is this not berry? Why is this not food? And so that's it. That's their little highlight. And species known for its mischievous personality. I think we know exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to come up with a domesticated, like, pet creature that is kind of like a mix between a cat and a ferret. I would say think like the size of a cat and like maybe some of the proportions of a ferret. So very long, quite large. Yes, destructive natural or supernatural event. We have the Melakaj Barrens. and what is going on in there, like the sandstorms, the desertification, just kind of like the ruin of this natural landscape. Look up photos of fosses for your cat ferrets. Ooh. Yeah, I think I might know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, so yeah, these things. I know what these things are. I imagine they'd be... I would basically come up with something that's very similar to this, that's kind of, more... Definitely has, like, more of that, like, domesticated face, you know what I mean? Like, this is very clearly a pet, like a cat creature. Yeah, spectrum from cat to ferret is a smooth color blend, biologically speaking. Yes, the ferret cat? Did the ferret cat cause a natural disaster? I won't tell. But yeah. So yeah, but that's kind of like why I was thinking, like, this, it's not too far-fetched for this, like, for this least strange part of my world to have a cat ferret creature in it, because that's not, like, that's not very far removed from the real world, you know? So it's still something interesting, something vaguely new, without being outlandish. And so that's kind of my thought on that. And so let's see, title and responsibilities of an important person in your world for prompt 7. Yes, I also have something that I know I want to write about. And so we can talk about the teacher of Goldrune, my bad. How to call people from Kingdom of the Eagle. For now I have Polish, but it seems wrong considering how much everything changed. That is a very good question, because I know that your people are based on, you know, the legitimate, actual Polish people in the real world. At that point, you may... I won't call them eagles. Oh, darn, there goes my suggestion. But I would think about... If you have... Ooh. I might consider, like, pulling vocabulary from the Polish language, seeing, like, what might these people call themselves in their mother tongue that might over time translate into just like a name for their population. So like maybe it started as them calling themselves like just to throw out an example, maybe they were calling themselves like eagles in Polish because, like, you know, this is their like kingdom of the eagles. And then that word maybe mutates over time. Or maybe they came up with a name that is like, it is this word, but different to denote that it is a like name of a people and not a thing. So yeah, just like start from the perspective of the people. Like, what do you think they would genuinely start calling themselves? It's like other people might call them Polish, but what are they to themselves? How do they consider their population different from where they came from? On Polish, eagle is orzeł, and plural adjective would be... Oh. Hey, I don't know how to say words. Sorry. But yeah, so if they came up with like something inspired by that, or something based off of it, maybe they combined that with a different word. Like, you know, they just kind of like Franken-worded it somewhere. Like, you know how the Germans do, they like put 1 and 2 words together and they make a third word? Or how in the real world we might say just like riverbank, you know, the bank of a river. Very simple thing. Okay, so conflict between 2 unequal powers in your world. I don't have a concrete idea, but I do have like a concept that I would like to explore. So we'll make this pink. We have something, but we don't know what. And so, culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. This is one that, again, I don't really have something concrete for. Like, I barely even have a concept for it. So we're gonna make this orange. So we need to like really do some thinking about this. And yeah, there's a huge amount of places which call themselves the people in their own language, and then foreigners use their word for people to call them. Yeah, yeah, exactly, 100%. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, people call themselves very different things, and, you know, other people will call them very different things. And the same is true of their actual regions, of landmarks within their regions. There's all kinds of things. The people who actually live there will very frequently have different names for, you know, what is around them, including themselves. It's a very common thing. Like, I don't know, I guess for like an American example, because that's like where I'm speaking from, I believe the Diné people, that means the people in Navajo. And so, yeah, and so we, like, you know, people who came here, they were like, yes, they're just calling them whatever they felt like calling the natives at the time. But no, like they have their own name for themselves, and they're taking it back now too. Estonians kind of just randomly came up with a word for our people in the 19th century. Before that, we called ourselves the land folk, and our language the land tongue. Yeah, see? So people, like, this is how a lot of people just kind of call themselves. Like, especially when places are just kind of starting up. Like, you know, especially if you are in a place where you don't experience, like, encounter other cultures very much, like, your language might just be the language. Your people are going to be just the people. It's the land, you know? Because if you don't have to differentiate it very often, like, why would your language evolve to do so? It's like, you might just think, like, it's not necessary, like, it doesn't matter. And then over time, as they meet new cultures, you know, they see, like, oh, so your language here, like, it just translates to the language? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. We're gonna call your language this thing, or we're just gonna, like, continue in our language to say, like, your language is the word that you are using, and then it kind of mutates over time. They end up with a completely different word, and maybe the culture that they started with eventually also changes the name of their language, just how they refer to it to other people. I don't know, like, it's very complicated. Like, some places people change the way that they do it, some places they just don't. So yeah. Back to this, we see an animal associated with or symbolizing power. I do have the idea here. Savelin barn owl, I think, is what I want to go to. Maybe sticking with Polish could be a good idea. Country didn't form so many cultures as others in the world. Yeah, like if they're not interacting with a whole lot of other people, or if they're not, like, at the time intermixing with a whole lot of other people, it would make sense for them to just keep this name that they are used to. And if you don't want to change it completely, you could say, like, okay, from the time that they appeared to where they are now, maybe there were some subtle changes. Maybe a couple things went a little bit different over time. But at their root, they still call themselves, like, this thing that they came here with, because they just didn't feel the need to change it. Sorry, just loading up on more chapstick because I can't help myself. And so a resource that provides fuel or power. We have... This needs a lot more development, because, like, I do have a concept. You know, no, I'll give this one pink because I know, like, what thing I want to focus on. Like, for prompt 5, I just said, like, okay, I already have a thing that I might have written about this before. I will need to find something else to write about. That's, like, all I wrote, so yeah, I need to think about that one a lot more. Seat of power of any kind. I know exactly what I'm writing about for this. I'm making an article for Orwell, this big city / nation state, and we are doing that. And powerful organization in your world, that is going to be another orange one because I don't have an idea for what I want to put there. So yeah. So that's good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 articles at this point in time where we have like we have an idea. We know what thing we want to write about. And so we just need to sit down and write the thing. Like maybe develop our idea a little bit more, figure out what actually we want to write about and focus on that topic. But we have the idea down, and that's what matters. We have 2 more prompts for which we have a concept. And so I know kind of what area I want to focus on and like which element of this place I want to dive into with these prompts, but I don't have a specific thing. And we have 2 prompts that I just don't know what I'm doing with yet. I have no idea. But that at least means that we have 8 prompts from this week that we know what we're doing. Like, we know what we want to do. The other 2, we'll just... Now I created for summer camp stub. Yes, very exciting. Oh, and you know? Let's see if there's a culture or powerful organization just kind of sitting in my list of stubs. It is possible. So let's see. So we need a ethnicity prompt or... Where am I going? Okay, sorry, I was clicking through all my tabs because I forgot where I was. Ooh. There we go. So we can just go back and forth. Okay, so powerful organization or ethnicity. Let's see if I have anything like that here. So wait, this is popping up in my stubs, but it doesn't have... Oh, no, it's because it's not a draft, but it is a stub. Okay, Council of the Ascended. The Council of the Ascended is like a council of gods, essentially, that used to walk the world as mortals. So that is why they are the Ascended. I think that that's actually something that I would really like to work on. And so that I think is actually going to be my main focus, I think, for this prompt. Unless I find something else that I really want to work on instead. But yeah, Council of the Ascended, that is something that I really need to work on. Oh yeah, Council... On that topic, like, pantheons. There are a lot of gods in my world that I have not written about and developed, and so writing about a pantheon of gods might actually be a really good... a good way for me to tackle this prompt in a way that makes sense for me. I just yawn. Oh, because like I also have the Pantheon of the New Age. That would actually be the singular most. Is it possible to reset a stub that isn't a draft? I think so. I don't think it matters if it's published or not. I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Advanced tools and options, special actions, reset date. Yeah, it should be fine. So I'm just gonna reset the date on that before I start writing anything in it. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be a draft. It does not need to be a draft. You can have it unpublished. Like, it can be public, it can be private, does not matter. As long as it is under 50 words, you can reset the date. So I just did it, so we know for sure. So yeah, we have that going for us. I just don't know if I have a single ethnicity article in here. 'Cause I just don't think that it ever came up. So that's gonna be a tough one. Yeah, so we'll have to workshop this quite a bit. But powerful organization in your world. Scouting through my stub articles. Remembered that pantheons exist and are something I distinctly planned to develop. These certainly, to me, feel like very powerful organizations that could very well suit this theme. So yeah, we're gonna change that one to blue because now we have an exact thought. And so a culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. Again, that is going to be the tough one because I don't actually know exactly what I want to work on for this. So something that we will want to consider. Let's see. All right. I'm just gonna hop over here. I want to see if anyone... Yeah, okay. So, pardon me, my attention got diverted a little bit. But yeah, so culture that has suffered under the rule of a stronger nation. Because again, we do have the Terran Faithless, which was like my original consideration, pretty much, for this prompt when I first heard it. So we have here the Terran Faithless from World Building Summer Camp 2020. 3 years ago. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, so the Terran Faithless, they are basically... They make up the bulk of Umber Gold. And so this is like this counterculture that exists in Aurel, where a lot of these people just simply don't subscribe to faith. Like they know that the gods exist. Like, it's kind of like one of those fantasy things, like, they know they're there. They just don't worship them. They don't hold faith to be a very high standard. And so, in a land where faith is very important to a lot of people... Well, oh, actually, that's actually a good question. Earth does not exist in my universe. They were called Terran because the place that they lived in was called Terramar. And so that actually doesn't exist anymore. So I actually need to rename this, I need to rename this culture because that no longer represents them or the place they're from. You can see Aurel under the Terramar location. Terramar does not exist. It is now Arsavella. And so it would be more apt to call them the Savellan Faithless. You know, I could actually edit that right now.
Refresh yourselves.
In fact, I will. Delian here with the sippy, thank you. Ah. Do I? Yeah, this doesn't exist.
Refresh yourselves.
Ah, the sippies, they're coming in. Alright, thank you. The planet in both my worlds are called Earth. Seems like a very natural thing for humans to come up with. Yeah, I mean, especially if you plan to maintain the usage of nouns like Earth, like the earth beneath our feet. I don't think it's very unrealistic to say like, oh yes, the Wait, why does it give me an option to submit this? It's giving me the option to submit this article for 2023, even though it's definitely not the correct date. So I would look into that, maybe. Reside in the Kingdom of Arsavella. We're gonna call them Savellan Faithless, because they are from Arsavella and not what their region used to be named. But this is what I mean when I talk so often about how there are things in my world that I need to go retcon and edit. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that this all needs to change, you know? most of at Arsavella. Most of Arsavella's faithless are descendants of immigrants and travelers of distant lands, other kingdoms in which faith was not a major cultural significance. Bum, bum, bum. Just need to change all of these little tags here. I think it's going to be one of my summer camp goals to edit some of these older articles that tie in to the things that I'm writing anew. So that, you know, people are going to see these new articles during summer camp. I want the links that they click on to not be disorganized, outdated messes. You know what I mean? So it's going to be another fun little exercise, essentially, in world building, where I just kind of, as I interconnect things more and more, I have to come to terms with the fact that people are going to be seeing the older content. And yeah, so there's much to consider. Much to consider, much to work on. No credit for that. Where's your competitive spirit? Oh no, I'm not submitting the older articles. I'm making them nicer. I'm making them prettier. Oh. Yeah, I most certainly am not going to the word submit older articles. No, no. But if people are going to be seeing my new articles, I want my older articles that they link to be nice. Because if they're going to go digging for more reading material, I don't want it to simply be incorrect. Well-known faithless leader in her home of Orel. Yeah, this article doesn't actually exist right now. That's fine, I was teasing. Yeah, I know. I just don't want anyone else in the chat to think like, oh, naughty behavior? No, none of that here. Does World Anvil seem slow for you? It is taking an extra second or two for the little things to pop up when I start doing like the tagging system. But I mean, it is day one of summer camp. I imagine many a word is being written at this time. So let's just go back and view this. A million people are on, yeah. Alright, so we have the Savellan Faithless. There we go. Now, Savellan Faithless, secular subsect of Savellan people who reside in the Kingdom of Arsavella, mainly consisting of races other than the local Boharan. Though exceptionally rare, it's not impossible to find a Faithless Boharan. Oh, the related locations needs to change. So let's just get that going. Yeah, it's like taking a very long time for me to load this. I hope it's not broken. Oh, okay, there we go. So template specific. I kind of don't do this very much. Yeah, the related. Oh, wait, no, I just had that typed into the sidebar, didn't I? I'm kind of waiting for this to reload as well. Yeah, no, this is a sidebar thing, isn't it? It is. Bum, ba, da, bum. Oops. Arsavella, please. There we go. Kingdom of Arsavella. Aurel. Sippy sip. Yeah, I didn't update anything in the sidebar, so we're just kind of popping in and doing that real quick. While much of Arsavella is steeped in faith, worshipping their gods, and taking great pride in their religion, the faithless of the region are the people bringing the most diversity to the land. Because of their different experiences and outlooks, they brought unique perspectives to the kingdom. Yeah, so there we go. And yeah, so that is one of the reasons I'm struggling, because this this would have been the perfect topic for this prompt. Because the Savellan people, the extremely faithful people in our Savella, especially the government, kind of doesn't like these people anymore. And so that is going to cause a plethora of problems for them and for anyone associated with them. But even though this perfect target is right in front of me, I have to find something else, because I already wrote about them in the past, so... That's the fun part of summer camp, though. You get to come up with more ideas that you kind of just wouldn't come up with before. Because, like, if you didn't ask me to write about something like this year, I would say, oh, I already have something like this, I'm not gonna do that. But no. Now it is my challenge, and I must. And I am sorry, I simply cannot help myself. I'm grabbing myself a little rainbow cookie. I think after all this work I've done, I deserve a little treat. Alright, everyone. Alright, everyone, take one. I'm sharing with the class. Here you go. You are welcome to reach your hand through the stream and just grab a cookie at any time. I'm gonna put the box down, but like if anyone reaches through, I'll just hand you one. Thank you for your generosity. Oh, you're so welcome. But yeah, so I'm going to keep this article very close to me, and hopefully throughout the process of this month, I'm going to maybe update this article, just kind of, you know, bring it some new life, write some new things about them. And yeah, we'll just, I'm probably gonna put together like a whole list of articles like this that they just deserve a facelift, you know? It's like, you know, I wrote this 3 years ago, and while it is still relevant to my world, you know, I've had a lot of different ideas since, and a lot of things have changed, namely the name of the kingdom that they belong to and their name itself, you know? So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff to consider. We got some edits to make, we got some articles to give a facelift to. Lots of things that I just want to tie together. Like that has been my goal for a while. Like I just want to interconnect my articles a lot more. Just by filling in the gaps of things that I just haven't written yet. And that's the main issue. Like I just haven't written about the stuff. And so summer camp is my favorite time of year because inevitably with all these prompts, I come up with more things that just fill in these gaps, these things that I've just never written about, never even considered maybe. And yeah. So we'll see what other interesting summer camp prompts come out throughout the rest of the month. Because I do have all these little stubs just kind of all over the place. I did not notice the world styling editor until now. I thought it was a Grandmaster feature. Oh ho ho. You talking about this little guy? This little guy over here? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's available for anyone with CSS privileges. And editing CSS by looking at the source code in the console. Oh no. Yeah, it's much easier. It is absolutely so much easier. Like, I don't know how people work without it. I know some people do, which I'm like, how do you live? But yeah, so, let's see. We're starting to wrap up a little bit. Now, I'm just gonna grab little links for my own reference. Because I feel like if I'm going to take inspiration from these different articles that exist in my world, I think I might as well, you know, throw them in here. Culture that has suffered. And these are just going to be in here for inspiration. What a glorious day for Pripyat and therefore the world. I thought your demand was that if you're gonna say the name, you say the whole thing. Or does that only apply to me? What a glorious day for Prippy Monty Poppycock, and therefore the world. Alright. And so yeah, aside from this culture prompt, we need to think of what our no, do not ask AI, thank you. 448 words written in the article still isn't 110% finished. Yeah, I mean that just feels like the summer camp way. Some articles you need to like fight tooth and nail to get to that 300, and some you're at 1,000 words and you don't even feel like you're done yet. So yeah, it's a little adventure. Hmm. So yeah, I think we did some awesome brainstorming today. I have a lot of notes to consider, a lot of ideas to ponder. And so, I might get some of this work done, like just throughout the weekend, throughout the week. I will definitely be continuing to work on this on my Tuesday stream. So, Tuesdays, I stream 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And so, if it is not terribly, terribly late for you, I would love to see you there on Tuesday. We will be actually writing some of these articles and, you know, finalizing some of these ideas, maybe publishing one or two of them, hopefully. Hopefully. But we'll have to see. We'll see where things go. I have only the short version of history and religion. Countries need more. Countries need a lot of information. You know, some people write awesome articles for countries with like not a crazy amount of wordage, which is really cool. It's really exciting to see how people are able to do that sometimes. And yeah. So let's see. My question now is who is streaming? Bum. All right. Target is locked. So, because things are now wrapping up over here. Oh, thank you for streaming. Good luck with your writing endeavors. Why, thank you. And I wish everyone here wonderful luck and a wonderful time. My next stream is going to be tomorrow, 2 p.m., although I will be playing some video games. I will be playing Graveyard Keeper if anyone wants to come hang out and just have a nice little relaxing Sunday with me. But yes, I think we are going to go out and raid Laura Bones, who is doing much of the same. Also unpacking some prompts, doing some work. We're just gonna keep the summer camp hype going. What do you guys think about that? So we are going to start this raid. Feel free to give little shouts, little shout bird raid for anyone who wishes to. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit. Oh, thank you. It's been lovely listening to you while working on my first summer camp article. Yay! I'm so glad that you guys were able to just get some work done, get some questions answered. This is fantastic. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. And so, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy Laura Bone's stream. We are all going to just go hop on over there. So, farewell everyone. See you tomorrow. See you Tuesday. See you Friday. All right, goodbye everyone. Just gonna do.